What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so look, man, I was looking at my subscriptions, right? And I saw a video from Ticket TV, and it was talking about Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves out low managing, right? So I said, does Ticket mean like he gonna talk about the performance last night from Luka and Austin Reeves, and he'll get on LeBron for low manager? Because I was like, low manager. Then I saw what he was talking about. The Lakers have a back-to-back. They play in Portland, right? Now, mind you, if you've been subscribed to my channel for a number of years now, you know that the number of back-to-backs that NBA players have to play is at an all-time low. Most players now, or most teams, I should say, have no more than usually 8 to 10 back-to-backs now. At one point in time, back in the 80s, teams had 18, 19, 20 back-to-backs. In the 70s, you had 25 back-to-backs. In the 60s and 50s, you had 35 back-to-backs because the season was much more condensed. It wasn't stretched out from October to April. It was more December to March, early March. So we had a lot more back-to-backs back then. But those guys were still playing on both ends of the floor. And they're playing 38, 39, 40 plus minutes a night. So Austin Reeves is pissing me off because they're saying like he's out due to right groin soreness, which, let me tell you something, man. If you're an athlete, now I've never been a professional athlete, but I play sports. When you play sports, you're going to, even if you're young, you're going to deal with some sort of soreness. It's not an excuse to miss games. You're going to deal with some soreness. You're fucking young, bro. You're going to deal with it. You're going to recover from, aches and pains sooner. Now, of course, during the course of a career, as you get older, me personally, I can kind of understand if you miss a game if you're a starter, if you're a star, okay. If you want to miss a game once every 10 to 15 games, if you're a veteran, fine. I can understand that. Okay, if you're trying to save yourself from the playoffs or something like that, I can kind of understand that, right? Especially if it's a ongoing, continuous medical issue you got. But Austin Reeves is what? 25, 26, 24? I don't know. He's somewhere in that age range, right? What are you doing missing games? And Luka, nigga, you just came back, bro. You just came back from a so-called leg contusion and a bruise on your finger. You just missed 3 games. You miss another one? Now that's low management. That right there is low management right there. What was the point of you getting all this super duper shape? For you to still miss your customary 15 to 20 games a year? Oh no, not 20, because they always got to make sure they hit that magical 65 game mark so they can get their awards. But if you notice, a lot of these dudes, they're always around 65, 66, 67 games now. So they make sure they qualify for the All-NBA awards and they qualify for, certain contractual obligations or little, rewards they can get, an extra $500,000 bonus if you get 65 games and all this other bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, come on, bro. Like, you're giving up a game. You need to bank as many wins as possible right now, just in case your team has a player of significance that suffers injury. So now, look, you don't have LeBron James, who don't like he's even caring about this season. He don't fool me because he posted some bullshit about, oh man, AR, oh man, get careless, man. This dude going to World Series games, going on podcasts, writing spooky Halloween books and shit. He don't care about the season, man. Playing revenge with Rich Paul, with Stephen A. Smith. So they got Luka. Luka not playing. The third option, well, really the second option, LeBron the third option now, AR, he's not playing. So who's supposed to step up? Now, logically, you would think it would be DeAndre Ayton going up against his former team. But he's such a knucklehead, you can't rely on this dude, man. So that leaves what? What's this guy named? Jake LaViera? He's going to step up? Hopefully, JJ Redneck can be the coach that, Darvin Ham was. Remember when AD and LeBron would strategically check out and have him lose against an opponent, and Darvin Ham, who supposedly can't coach, even though he's won back-to-back NBA Cups. But anyway, Darvin Ham somehow found out to win with role players. Let's see if JJ Redneck can do it. But going back to my point, man, these guys, yeah, man, I totally agree with Ticket on this one, man. These guys are soft, man. These guys are, no, I don't. With very few exceptions, I don't compare these dudes to the players of, hell, 10 years ago. 10 years ago. I told you a stat. The average all-star from 25 years ago played an average of 77 games a year. 15 years ago, that dropped to 72 games. In 2020, that was down to 65 games a year. People can sit there and say, oh, the game is harder to play. No, it's not. No, it's not. Luka Doncic then squelched that line. Luka Doncic said that over in Europe, it's much more physical and harder to play that game over in Europe than in the United States. These guys are just coddled. When you got everything, when you're giving things based upon potential, when you're given everything, you can have everything to your heart's desire, and you're not pushed to do anything, and you're always coddled. These guys they sometimes they ain't motivated to play. They don't want to be great. They just want to be rich. Fine. But don't expect us to put you on the level of these other guys. Let's talk about Michael Jordan for a second. That 97-98 season, when Pippen left Jordan and the Chicago Bulls hanging, right? Because he was feuding with the front office because of the contract situation, right? He wanted more money, even though, even though the general manager at the time and the owner warned him, Reinsdorf and Krause warned him when he signed the contract in 91, you're selling yourself short. But anyway, the first half of that season, Michael Jordan did double duty as scorer and primary playmaker and ball handler, and led the Bulls to a 28 and I believe it was a 26-12 record when Scottie Pippen came back. Best record in the Eastern Conference. Jordan had to guard against the other team's best players. He and Ron Harper, because Scottie wasn't there. Jordan still led the league in scoring. Jordan logged 39 minutes a night and didn't miss a game. Matter of fact, during that entire three-peat, the second one, Jordan didn't miss a game. He was even tougher than he was the first three-peat. During the first three-peat, Jordan only missed, I think, 6 games altogether in those 3 seasons. The second three-peat, Jordan didn't miss 1 regular season game. He didn't miss 1 playoff game. And he missed only 1 preseason game, and it was that 97-98 season. And that was because he had to have a toenail removed the day of the game. that they played. That's the only reason why he missed. And he was there the very next game because he had a commitment. As you said, he felt obligated to play. If he could play, if he could push off on his foot, if he can walk, he can play. Now, I choose this picture right here because I want to give you an idea about what this guy was dealing with. The first 45 games of the 2001-2002 season, despite what the media tells you, Michael Jordan was a top 5 MVP candidate that year. I remember watching the games. He was a top 5 MVP candidate at age 38. But we noticed after every game, he was icing his knees. Matter of fact, the last 10 games before he got shut down, he was averaging 29, 6, and 6. At one point, the Wizards were 26 and 21. Mind you, the year before that, the Wizards were 19 and 63. So this notion that the Wizards Jordan was a failure is a lie. I watched the games, not stats. He was shutting down players still considered being their primes, like Latrell Sprewell, Allen Houston. He was shutting down Vince Carter on defense. He was giving even Kobe Bryant fits on defense. He was still an elite basketball player. He wasn't what he once was, but he was still one of the top 15 players. No, actually, top 5 players in the league, top 5 to 10 that first year. And by the time he got hurt, he was top 5. Top 5. He was averaging 25.6 rebounds and 5 assists, which, considering the league was only averaging 93, 94 points a game, that would be like 29.7 rebounds, 7 assists now. At age 38, after being out of basketball for 3 years. But then his knees just totally gave up on him. And if you remember anything about it, before the games, his knees would be as big as goddamn melons. And he had to have all this black infection, what it really was, drained from his knees every game. Most people would not have played. And when he finally had surgery, the first time in his career, during that offseason, it was found that he'd been playing with torn cartilage in his knees, ladies and gentlemen. He was playing with torn cartilage. So when these guys be missing games for a contusion or a bruise, man, fuck you. I understand everybody doesn't have the toughness level of Michael Jordan. Not everybody has the toughness level of Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird. I get it. Not everybody's going to be like those guys. Hell, even though he doesn't have the reputation for it, if you knew anything about him, Wilt Chamberlain came back from an injury. In 5 months, that still ends careers. Because they felt an obligation to come out and do what they had to do, go out there and play, man. That camaraderie. Everything's so individualistic now. I, me. There's no concept of team, man. A lot of these guys who watch basketball, they never played team sports. Or even, I'm not even talking about professional, I'm talking about just even as fun. Even like being fun and playing a team and playing as far as teamwork. It's selfish what they're doing, man. You hardly playing any back-to-backs as it is. You can't handle a back-to-back. Like Michael Jordan said, a basketball game is 2.5 to 3 hours. You can't get 21 hours of rest between a back-to-back every 3 to 4 weeks. That's too much. But then you can't be compared to the all-time greats. Everybody, this generation, when it comes to assessing a basketball player, when it comes to toughness, nobody should get more than 3 stars. If 10 is the top 9 stars, man, only a few get 5 or more or 6 or more. Everybody should be within 1 or 2 to 3 stars because it don't make no sense, man. Luka, you just came back, man. You just came back and you missed another game. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it, man. Tell us what you guys think.